Hey there, Rebirth survivors. Welcome back. We are tackling one of the most important and sometimes overwhelming aspects of this incredible overhaul mod. We are talking Rebirth classes today. How to get there, what to do, how many you can have, and how we can move between them. So first things first, let's get on the same page. When you drop into the new world, kill some zombies, speak to the trader, follow the quest prompts on the top right of your screen. You will visit Bristol in the trader compound. He will send you to the combat trainer, and you can choose a class. Elias will give you some tips and help you channel your focus to a particular class. Just a note, if you want to bypass the whole class process of doing the initial combat quests to get to your class, you can select that option from the Rebirth menu. You'll get a starter pack and you can bypass the training. My advice, at least on your first playthrough, play the mod as it is meant to be played and work your way through the initial progression. Now, the all-important screen, choosing your path of your first class. Most of the time, each class has a melee weapon and then a ranged weapon that you must specialize in. By using these, you can level up your class. Right, let's step into the shadows as the hunter. Master the art of stealth and precision. Become the silent force feared by all who cross your path. You are an expert in mobility and deadly sneak attacks. You will wield the spear, bow, crossbow, and rifle with lethal skill. And every weapon you craft becomes an extension of your will, each strike measured and devastating. Your enemies won't see you coming, but they'll know when you have been there. With the hunter, the top-tier melee weapon of specialization is Leonidas' spear, which penetrates and power attacks ignore all armor, making even tough zombies fleshy meat boxes. The power attack of Leonidas' spear will also occasionally trigger the rain of arrows, hunter's special attack. By the time you get to the higher levels of the hunter class, you will be raining death on your foes. Empowered by the Rain of Arrows aura mod, you can add this mod to your armor. You and your allies get a chance to create a devastating hail of arrows with your ranged weapons, turning the enemy into nothing but a sea of targets. Lead from the darkness and let the battlefield echo with your silent mastery. Not only bows, but your rifle also benefits from the Rain of Arrows aura, so you can make short work of the monsters from extremely long ranges. Of the hunter rifles, the MK14 has no challenge and is the ultimate sniper rifle for any expert hunter. The Thug is the powerhouse of the battlefield, a master of brute strength. With unmatched skill in wielding clubs, maces, and shotguns, the Thug thrives in close combat, smashing through zombies with raw force. Enhanced stamina and unique regeneration abilities mean this fighter stays in the thick of things, brawling longer and harder. Your ultimate club is the Savage Mace. There are very few that will get up after being panelled into the ground by this baby. Here is a monster that decided to get up, only to be bashed over the head and stunned. The stun that was afflicted on her lasted for such a long time, it was enough to make a cup of coffee, guzzle it down, and then return to finish the job. The Thug's shotgun is a work of art. This is sheer beauty, and as the description says, make sure you bring enough ammo, you are going to need it. Fueled by the Goon Aura mod, the Thug and nearby allies gain the power to stun targets when using ranged weapons, turning hits into a powerful crowd-controlling strike. Stand strong, unleash your strength, and let every swing and shot you make leave an impact. The Butcher has honed the powerful skill of breaking down enemy defenses with precision, watching as opponents crumble before them. Through rigorous training, butchers become true masters in wielding and crafting swords and assault rifles. They are known as boss killers. Their relentless dedication grants them the power to withstand a beating or two and have high levels of pain tolerance. Their prowess is further enhanced by the Bleed Aura mod, a formidable ability that infuses both them and their allies with a chance to make their enemies bleed and move slower with ranged weapons. Their top level assault rifle is the AK-74, and shooting this boss you can see the bleed ability in action as he hemorrhages from all over. As it stacks, it helps take down individual targets and make them putty in your hand. The powered Wakizashi is the butcher's top tier melee weapon of choice, granting you temporary fire immunity, but also warming your targets with a touch of burning. The Butcher is a relentless force, inspiring strength and unity in all who fight alongside them. Battle-worn, yet unbreakable, the soldier steps forward, ever ready for the next front line. The soldier becomes a master of delivering devastating blows from afar, carving through monsters with relentless firepower. Through dedication and grit, soldiers gain expertise in wielding and crafting axes and machine guns, transforming these weapons into instruments of unstoppable force. Right from the start, the soldier class can wield and craft an M60 machine gun. This is his entry-level ranged weapon of choice. Moving up to the soldier's ultimate machine gun, we have the micro gun. The micro gun clears your inventory of 7.62 ammo, but certainly removes the threat in no time. The soldier has a massive list of options when it comes to axes. Stormbreaker is his ultimate melee weapon with a right mouse click throwing action. Bandits. Really? You thought you could take on an easy target? Stormbreaker's AoE shock says otherwise. The soldier's power is further amplified by the double damage aura mod, empowering both them and their allies with a chance to unleash twice the impact on their enemies from a distance. You can hear the sound as the double damage triggers every now and then for a few seconds. The soldier is the embodiment of resilience, inspiring all to press forward no matter the odds. The Technogeek is a brilliant innovator, excelling in shocking, deploying turrets and gathering crucial materials. With expertise in crafting and wielding batons, revolvers and deployable turrets, the Technogeek unlocks game-changing abilities as they rise in skill. Are you feeling lucky? The R8 Magnum is a tank of a pistol, tremendous stopping force and overall thump to put down most vermin. The top-end baton has the ability to give you temporary shocking immunity, and when power attacking, it can AoE shock your enemies. It is, of course, known as the Shocker. Starting as a lowly turret apprentice, you slowly grow in mastery of your turrets. This allows you to gain access to unique skills exclusive to this class, bringing both precision and endurance to the battlefield through your mechanic creations. As you grow in mastery, you can click the shift and page down keys, and this will deploy a ring of sledge turrets in a defensive ring. Then for an ultimate ring of techno junk, by clicking the page down key, you will be able to provide a ring of junk turrets that will eat and bite into the flesh of your enemy, dispatching and destroying them. The Shock Aura mod empowers the Technogeek and their allies to stun enemies and inflict lasting damage with every ranged hit. Then you also have shockwave grenades. They can be thrown, dealing massive AoE damage and stunning your enemies. However, by pressing the page up key, you will consume a grenade and trigger a shockwave around you. Excellent crowd control when things are just getting maybe just a bit too close for comfort. Driven by resourcefulness, they can disassemble items swiftly with salvage tools, gaining even more resources in return. If it can be wrenched, it's yours. There is no obstacle that can stand in the Technogeek's way. The Madman charges into battle with speed and a whirlwind of power. As an expert in crafting and wielding knuckles and machine guns, the Madman becomes a force of unstoppable momentum. Fueled by the flurry of blows, their attack speed skyrockets, especially when paired with their favorite brew. The Smasher is the Madman's favorite pair of knuckles. With a left and then a right attack, you can knock down your opponent and then take your time in making sure they never get up. The Scorpion is your top-tier submachine gun. It is very accurate, so makes it very easy to unload a full magazine into a target. With your Explosion Aura mod, the Madmen and their allies gain the chance to unleash explosive range damage, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. This explosive aura is unique, temporarily disabling regeneration and replacing it with sheer explosive might. Armed with decoys, you can keep the monsters guessing. The Madman turns the fight into an exhilarating, explosive spectacle. Embrace the chaos and make every moment count. The Builder is a powerhouse, finding every weak spot in enemy defenses and breaking through. Mastering hammers, pistols, and electric traps, the Builder becomes a skilled craftsman of chaos on the battlefield. Empowered by the Dismemberment aura, they and their allies gain the power to blast through opponents, with a chance for instant termination. So you and your allies get the chance to dismember and remove chunks from the bodies of your enemies. Once you and your highest level handgun, the M92, are reunited, very little gets in your way. This 9mm machine pistol is a joy to use when coupled with your aura. Body bits flying and the chance of instant death to all those coming in your direction. With the penetration ability, your pistol rounds will pierce through armor to strike harder and faster, and later your shots will also penetrate multiple targets. Then there's Mutilation Surge. When the Builder is using a pistol, every consecutive hit with the pistol compounds damage, making every shot stronger than the last. There is a heartbeat audio sound that notifies and lets you know that Mutilation Surge is in effect. The highest level hammer of the Builder is called Doomsday. This weapon is one of the best crowd control melee weapons in the game. Besides it being a headache for the zombies to withstand being hit with it, it has an awesome crowd control ability. Power hitting the ground near enemies will knock them down and you can dispatch of them with ease while they struggle to get up. And that's not all. The Builder can set up mining and defensive outposts, boosting resource collection and crafting deployable mine shafts with ease. So you can create a deployable wooden or cobblestone shaft. Not cheap to set up, but certainly beats having to construct it and spend the time doing this near an ore vein. I challenge you to embrace the power to break, build, and conquer. The Sous-Chef is a wielder of knives with unmatched precision, and when the moment calls for it, a powerful handgun can be added to the recipe. With dedication and skill, the Sous-Chef masters the crafting and use of these weapons, turning the battlefield into a well-prepared feast for victory. The Jackal, which is the sous-chef's precision knife of choice, gives temporary fire immunity and the chance to cook your foes. It carries a huge sneak attack damage of up to 600% and deals much greater damage when precision carving a monster's head. The knife also has the chance to trigger the 1000 Cuts aura. However, if you do add the 1000 Cuts aura mod to your character, then this empowers the sous-chef and their allies to unleash a storm of slashes and strikes, leaving enemies devastated from afar. There is just something about the top tier STI 2011. It just makes one fall in love with it. It sounds awesome and has some amazing stopping power. Of all the handguns, I was torn between it and the Builder's M92. Years spent in the kitchen grants a unique edge. The sous-chef can unlock beneficial recipes faster and also gains powerful perks from cooked meals that exceed the average survivor's boosts. Skilled in harvesting resources from animals, the sous-chef ensures every bit of the hunt is put to good use. Prepare, slice, and conquer. This is the way. The Witch Doctor is a force of mystical power, mastering black magic to command the undead and shape the world of shadows to their will. With expertise in wielding scythes and tactical rifles, they become a lethal blend of close combat and precision attacks. Through the power of the mind control brew and potion, the Witch Doctor can unleash the scythe's dark attack. Drink the brew or the potion allows you to continue attacking with the left click, but your right click will now turn and take control of the hapless minion. Once it runs out, so will your control. So be aware your minions could turn on you, as they will be slightly stronger once the control is lost. If you want to manually turn a minion back, you can right click and hit the minion again and you will lose control. You can also use mind control arrows and bolts to do the same thing. And even mind control potions can be thrown at your enemies, creating an AoE mind control explosion. Take careful note of the black magic skill tree under the Witch Doctor. As you level up, you can have better mind control abilities, have control over powerful zombies like ferals and higher levels. It also indicates at which part you can start your own skeleton companions and army, how many you can have and their immunities and abilities. Summoning the Horror Panther, a loyal and formidable companion, the Witch Doctor's magic strengthens its resilience and grants it the power to convert zombies with ease. The Witch Doctor does not have an aura mod that it can craft. However, the Witch Doctor does craft their own path, commanding loyalty from those they summon. Embrace the darkness, wield its power, and conquer the living and the dead alike. The Berserker is a warrior of unparalleled close combat mastery, wielding every melee weapon with fierce skill and precision. The Berserker gets no aura, but has powerful bonuses to all melee weapons, and taps into their rage. While they focus on the power of melee, they do have basic access to entry-level bows, pipe weapons, and junk turrets only. Unlike the other classes, their weapon mastery is not divided into melee versus ranged. Instead, it is divided into two melee categories, blunt and bladed. Blunt weapons are clubs, batons, sledgehammers, and knuckles, while bladed weapons are your swords, scythes, knives, spears, and axes, and they can use all of these to beat the crap out of anything in front of them. This class also gets exclusive use of the Rage Panther, not to be confused by the Horror Panther of the Witch Doctor. The Rage Panther is tougher and can also knock down its opponents. The Berserker has no weapon expertise books to use. It is slow progress to max out your Berserker. Unlike the max level 10 of other classes, the Berserker maxes at level 15. Most important to this class is the use of the Rage skill. There is defensive, offensive, and Bloodmoon Rage. By pressing the page down key on your keyboard, you can trigger the Berserker's defensive rage. You get a trainer to come and help you, and with the rage, you can now attack faster, jump higher, and run faster. You can regenerate stamina 5 times faster and become immune to elemental damage. There is also offensive rage, which you can trigger with the page up skill, and it will consume a rage capsule. Then there is the third type of rage, Bloodmoon Rage. Once it turns Blood Moon, from 10 PM to 4 AM, you will have full rage for the entire Blood Moon, automatically. And only during the Blood Moon, you will get unlimited access to all ranged weapons for complete mayhem. You can even use the ultimate weapon for all the other classes, well, as long as you are level 40. Here, this Berserker is using the Builder's Doomsday Hammer, power attacking non-stop. As rage runs through the night, there is no need to set up a base. Just do what you do best. Hunt. The Berserker's resilience on the front lines reduces the chance of critical injuries, and you can charge forward, embrace the fury, and let nothing stand in your way. For the sake of the guide, I have chosen the path of the Hunter. While you train, you are not a Hunter class, yet. Which class you choose at this point, you need to train to make a class book. To make the class book, which is simply out of paper, you must get the two halves of the book. The first half you get from a melee weapon, and the second half fragment is from a ranged weapon. As mentioned, it is only the Berserker class that uses the two categories of melee weapons, under the blunt and then also the bladed category. Once you have crafted your two simple weapons, you are off to play the game. Kill monsters using these weapons and you will progress to obtaining each half of the class book. Ramsey has suggested that when killing monsters, body shots provide less experience than headshots. So headshots are better and kills are also better. So you gain experience from all your actions, not just your kills. Take a look under the skills menu where the crafting tools and weapons are. You can see each of the classes and it shows your progress to obtaining your class book fragment or half. How long does this take? Well, with a spear, I killed more than 50 or 60 zombies, and with that I was able to get the fragment for that particular weapon. Same with the bow. Kill and level your bow or your pipe rifle and use that to level the same fragment for your hunter ranged weapon. Progress is shown at the bottom left of the interface. Natural selection is the number of zombies you have killed. Here you can see the two halves of the class book that has been worked on and the percentages towards each. So just keep using the weapon required. As a tip, it could be easier to run around town and dig through mailboxes and newsstands where you can find weapon skill expertise book fragments. Now, don't get mixed up. We are not referring to the class books. These are the weapon expertise books that increase your weapon skills. These expertise fragments can be crafted into a single expertise book. You get either melee expertise books or ranged expertise books. So these bluish fragments you pick up. Once you have 9 of these fragments, you can make an expertise book and read it. Reading one book at the start will immediately advance you from 0 to obtaining a half of your class book. So if you want to skip some of the leveling, which is done by killing zombies, then using the books can be an option. Also do trader quests and looting to hopefully get these weapon expertise fragments. Once you finally unlock the two halves of your class, then you can make or craft the two halves into a single book. Just use paper. One of the best places to get paper in the early game is from boxes. As you often end up on the outskirts of a town where there are many houses at the start, many have boxes in the house. Just one house can give you enough paper salvage for the two book halves. Craft the two parts together and then read it. You are now officially that class and your chosen class is active. Continue to progress by crafting the weapon expertise books and by fighting with those weapons. So looking at the hunter, as I've used my spears, bows and rifles, I have progressed in these other areas as well. All classes have access to an aura mod, except for the Berserker and the Witch Doctor. The mod is crafted from molten steel. That sounds like a long way off. Well, your handy combat trainer guy, Ilias over here, if you go to his inventory, he does sell molten steel. So you can buy it and get your hands on the class aura mod at an early stage. My hunter uses the Rain of Arrows aura mod, and like other aura mods, it is fitted to any part of your armor. However, only one of the same type will benefit, so don't waste your time and add multiple aura mods of the same type. They will go on, but won't do anything extra. Now, shooting with my range weapon will trigger the Rain of Arrows aura every now and then. Right, let's talk about multiple classes. Ramsey suggests that 2 classes, maybe 3, is likely the limits for a longer playthrough. You can also slow down progression from the Rebirth menu and make your genetics and class skills take longer to progress. Of course, the opposite is also an option. You can speed up class progression through the same menu, so this will allow it to be easier to obtain many more classes during a playthrough. You can move to another class whenever you want, as long as you can make the two halves of the class book and craft it. However, it is advisable to wait until at least reaching level 6 of a class before you move. The level of your class is seen here on the user interface. You can also see your level by going into the class skills menu. In this case, my hunter is level 6. At least level 6. At this point, it means you can move to another class and you will be able to keep most of the skills and the aura of the previous class. So we have been working on our hunter and we finally reached level 6 and decided to move to soldier. Changing to soldier by reading the soldier class book, we will have the chance to get the hunter's rain of arrows and use the other skills. There are 2 exceptions. For the witch doctor, you must wait until level 8 before moving to another class. And if you are the berserker, then you must wait until level 10 before moving. Of course, you can also stick with just one class through your playthrough. Which classes are best to combine? Well, it also depends on how you wish to play the mod. A thug, which has the ability to stun, could be combined with a class like the hunter or the soldier. So now you can stop your enemy from advancing and kill them before they even get close to you. Just remember, as you advance, eventually your game stage will allow the Tainted to start rocking up. They are magic imbued, which is why they have the purple shade, and they are immune to some abilities and magic in general. For example, mind control will not work on them, so a good old thumping will usually still do the trick. In a recent poll on the Rebirth Discord, the second highest request was more classes, which I really didn't think was needed, but still, the players have spoken and the dev has answered. Introducing the Engineer, the newest and 11th class in the Rebirth mod. Unfortunately, we have very little to go on except that Ramsey put this together many moons ago. Hopefully we will get to see this new class materialize at some point. Thanks for watching, my fellow survivors, and I will see you in the next one.